You're lying there exhausted, eyes closed, body heavy, while the mind keeps checking if sleep has started yet. That monitoring loop hasn't shut off, and nothing you've tried tonight has stopped it. There is a way this pressure drops on its own, not by effort. You'll notice it soon. The thinking isn't the problem. The attempt to stop it is. Each time the mind checks, the body tightens slightly, so small it's almost missed. That tightening keeps the system alert. Even while you're exhausted, nothing needs fixing here. This state follows a pattern, and patterns unwind when they're no longer fed. As these words continue, the body starts noticing support again. Not deliberately, just faint signals returning. Pressure settles where it's been held up. Muscles stop compensating. Breath is already moving without instruction. Air enters. Air leaves. The exhale lingers slightly longer than the inhale. That lengthening happens on its own. The chest doesn't need to help anymore. When effort fades, circulation redistributes. Hands grow heavier. Jaw releases its last grip. There's less need to stay ready. Thought tries to organize again, then loses momentum halfway through. Sentences don't complete. They dissolve before landing. This is where the shift starts. Not dramatic. Quiet. This quiet is something your system recognizes. It remembers how to return here. Breath moves in. Breath moves out. Slower now. The nervous system follows that rhythm downward. Nothing is being guided. There's no task to perform. The body recognizes the absence of threat. Signals soften. The eyes rest without holding focus. Muscles around them loosen. The forehead smooths without instruction. Thinking fragments again. Pieces drift without sequence. The mind starts missing its own thoughts. Breath arrives. Breath leaves. Longer this time. The heart follows, slowing its pace. Awareness spreads instead of pointing. There's no single thing to track. Monitoring loosens. A brief rise appears, almost like noticing the room again. Then it fades deeper than before. That drop is automatic. It doesn't require agreement. The body grows less defined at the edges. Weight distributes evenly. There's no reason to adjust. Breath continues. Out, longer, quieter. The nervous system settles further. Thought tries to return with a question. It loses shape halfway through. Language thins. The sense of trying disappears first. Then the sense of watching. Only continuation remains. Another slight rise. Barely noticeable. Then a deeper settling follows. The body accepts stillness without naming it. Support feels sufficient. Breath in. Breath out. Extend it again. The system responds with further quiet. Internal space widens. Details blur. There's less to process. Thought no longer stacks. It drifts singly, then not at all. The body no longer prepares for anything. It rests in what's already happening. Breath continues faintly. Out, slower, softer. The descent deepens without effort. Awareness loosens its grip. There's no edge to hold on to. No need to stay alert. This settling keeps going, uninterrupted. Nothing pulls you back. The next shift happens without notice. The body remains where it's settled. No adjustment follows. Muscle tone stays low without needing attention. Breath continues quietly. In, without effort. Out, longer again, easing downward. The nervous system follows that lengthening automatically. Awareness no longer points forward. There's no anticipation, no checking. Thought appears briefly, then thins before it can organize. The space between thoughts widens. The body reads this absence correctly. It releases another layer of readiness. Shoulders soften further. Breath arrives. Breath leaves, slower than before. The heart responds by easing its rhythm. Is less than #0. 5# is greater than. Internal signals grow quieter. Not gone, just dimmed. A faint sense of drifting begins. Not movement, more like losing the need to hold position. Attention spreads thin. There's nothing specific to rest on. Monitoring dissolves further. Breath continues without change. Out, extended, unforced. The settling deepens again. A slight return of alertness flickers. It doesn't stay. The system drops lower than before. That drop happens on its own. No participation required. The body grows heavier in a uniform way. No edges stand out. Pressure feels evenly distributed. Thought fragments lose sequence. They no longer connect. Language pauses mid-formation. Breath in, breath out, slower again. Signals of safety reinforce themselves. There's less interest in tracking anything. Awareness loosens naturally. The sense of effort is absent. Another gentle rise occurs, almost like noticing weight again. Then the body settles more deeply. This cycle completes quietly. No contrast needed. Breath continues faintly. Out, longer, steady. The autonomic shift holds. Internal space grows less structured. There's no clear boundary between sensations. Everything blends softly. Thought attempts to restart. It dissolves before forming words. Silence stretches between impulses. The body no longer signals readiness. Muscles remain slack. Breathing stays low and quiet. Breath in, breath out, extended again. The settling deepens without notice. Awareness feels diffuse. There's no center to return to. No need to orient. Another small rise passes through, barely registered, followed by a deeper drop. The pattern continues. Each cycle reduces clarity further. Thought loses urgency, then loses direction, then loses presence. Breath remains. Out, slow, even. The nervous system stays settled. Internal monitoring fades almost completely. There's nothing to confirm, nothing to finish. The body rests inside this continuation, uninterrupted. The next phase arrives quietly. There is no need to re-enter this state. It has been continuing on its own. The body hasn't left it. Nothing dropped away while you rested. This settling has been carrying you the entire time. Breath moves quietly. In, barely noticed. Out, slower, longer again. The system responds by letting go further. Awareness no longer gathers information. It spreads thin instead. Details lose importance. Muscle tone remains low. There's no signal to hold posture. The body stays supported without reference. Thought appears as a fragment, then fades before it connects to anything. No chain forms. The space between mental activity widens. Silence stretches naturally. Nothing fills it. Breath continues. Out, extended, unforced. Heart rhythm follows, steady and distant. Internal signals soften further. Sensation becomes less distinct. Edges blur. A brief rise passes through, almost like a check. It dissolves before completing. The drop that follows is deeper, automatic. The body releases another layer of readiness. There is less need to respond. Nothing requires attention. Breath in, breath out, slower again. The settling holds. Awareness drifts without direction. There's no place it needs to return to. Orientation fades. Thought loses structure. Words no longer assemble. Meaning thins. The body reads this correctly. It stays at rest. No correction follows. Another subtle rise appears, barely noticed. Then the system settles further than before. This cycle completes quietly. No contrast is required. Breath continues faintly. Out, long, even. The autonomic shift deepens. Internal space grows less organized. There is no clear sequence. Everything blends. Thought attempts to form. It pauses midway, then disappears. The body no longer signals alertness. Muscles remain slack. Breathing stays low and quiet. Breath in, breath out, extended again. The settling continues uninterrupted. Awareness feels diffuse. There is no center to hold. No monitoring remains. Another slight rise moves through. It doesn't register fully. The drop that follows is deeper still. Clarity reduces further. Not lost, just unnecessary. Thought no longer seeks resolution. There is nothing to complete, nothing to track. Breath remains. Out, slow, steady. The nervous system stays settled. Internal monitoring fades almost entirely. There is no reference point, no comparison. The body rests inside this continuation, undisturbed. The next descent arrives without notice. There is no longer a sense of progression. Nothing is moving toward anything. The body remains fully settled. Support is present without reference. There's no need to locate it. It simply remains. Breath continues faintly, almost imperceptible. In, arrives on its own. Out, extends again, long and even. The autonomic system follows that extension. After the exhale fades, the pause holds. There is no awareness of holding. The system stays quiet. Internal activity no longer organizes. Signals don't assemble into anything useful. There is no prompt to respond. Thought does not arise. There is no impulse to form it. Language remains absent. Breath in, breath out, longer again. Settling deepens without change. Only a quiet, unstructured continuation remains. Nothing asks for clarity. Nothing requires naming. There is no next step from here. This level remains without needing anything else. The boundary between awareness and rest loses meaning. It doesn't need to be crossed. It simply thins. Heart rhythm stays steady, distant. Pressure regulation remains stable. Circulation moves evenly. Breath continues. Out, slow, extended. The parasympathetic state holds. There is no checking. No internal commentary resumes. The system stays offline. A faint rise passes through, so light it barely registers. It fades before forming. The drop that follows is deeper, not dramatic, just quieter. Breath arrives again. Breath leaves, longer than before. The body responds by releasing further. Sensation loses detail. Edges dissolve. Weight spreads evenly. There is no preference to adjust. No signal to reposition. Stillness remains sufficient. Thought does not return. There is no space for sequence. No beginning forms. Breath in, breath out, long, unforced. The system settles into continuity. Awareness loosens further. There is no center to orient around. No edge to hold. Another gentle rise appears. It dissolves immediately. The deeper quiet returns. This cycle completes without contrast. Nothing marks it. Nothing follows it. Breath continues faintly. Out, extended, steady. The autonomic balance remains low and stable. Internal monitoring no longer operates. There is nothing to confirm, nothing to finish. The body remains supported. Effort stays absent. No readiness returns. Breath in, breath out, slower again. The descent holds. Clarity is no longer relevant. It doesn't need to fade. It simply isn't required. There is no narrative. No internal voice resumes. Language remains offline. A subtle rise passes through once more. It does not complete. The drop follows, deeper and quieter. The system accepts this level without adjustment. Nothing changes it. Nothing interrupts it. Breath continues. Out, long, even. The state stabilizes further. There is only continuation now. Unstructured, unmonitored. The next shift happens without awareness. There is no sense of arrival. No marker that anything has changed. The body remains in the same settled depth. Breath continues without emphasis. In, faint. Out is less than #0. 1 hash is greater than extended, quiet. The rhythm sustains itself. Awareness no longer scans. There is nothing it needs to locate. Orientation stays dissolved. Internal signals arrive muted. They don't ask for response. They pass without forming meaning. The body holds its weight evenly. No area stands out. Support remains unquestioned. Breath in, breath out, longer again. The nervous system maintains its downward bias. Thought does not organize. Fragments appear without sequence. They fade before becoming language. The space between mental events widens further. Nothing fills it. Nothing needs to. There is no change expected from here. This state holds without shifting. A faint rise moves through awareness, almost like noticing stillness. It dissolves immediately. The drop that follows is deeper, not dramatic, just quieter again. Breath continues. Out, slow, extended. Circulation settles into a steady pattern. Sensation becomes less defined. Edges soften further. The body feels more uniform. There is no impulse to adjust. No micro-correction appears. Stillness remains sufficient. Thought attempts to surface. It pauses midway, then disappears without completion. Language remains absent. No narration resumes. No commentary forms. Breath in, breath out, extended again. The system settles deeper into consistency. Awareness feels thin, spread without center. There is nowhere it needs to return. Another gentle rise passes through, barely registered. It fades before awareness can follow it. The drop that follows feels softer than before, more complete. Nothing interrupts it. Breath continues faintly. Out, long, even. The parasympathetic state stabilizes further. Internal monitoring no longer resumes. There is no checking. No confirmation needed. The body remains passive. Muscles stay slack. No readiness returns. Thought loses relevance entirely. There is nothing to solve, nothing to sequence. Breath in, breath out, slower again. The downward drift holds without effort. Sensation blends into a single field. No distinctions remain important. Everything feels even. A brief rise appears, so subtle it almost doesn't occur. It resolves into deeper quiet. This cycle completes without notice. No contrast marks it. No boundary forms. Breath continues. Out, extended, steady. The system maintains its lowest set point. Awareness remains diffuse. There is no edge to hold, no center to protect. Nothing calls attention back. Nothing pulls upward. The descent continues quietly. The next phase unfolds without awareness. There is no recognition that anything is continuing. Continuation no longer registers. The body remains settled without reference. Breath moves quietly. In, minimal. Out, extended, even. The rhythm sustains itself without variation. Awareness no longer gathers. It doesn't spread either. It simply remains faint. Internal signals arrive without ownership. They don't attach to anything. They fade as they appear. The body holds no sense of role. Nothing needs to be maintained. Support remains unquestioned. Breath in, breath out, longer again. The nervous system stays biased toward rest. Thought no longer forms fragments. Even fragments are unnecessary. Language stays absent. There is less distinction between sensations. They blend without boundary. Nothing stands apart. A faint rise passes through, not noticed as a rise. It resolves into deeper quiet. The drop that follows is complete. No comparison remains. Breath continues. Out, slow, extended. Circulation remains even and low. The sense of you grows less defined. Not removed, just unnecessary. There is no position to occupy, no role to hold. The body rests without identity. Breath in, breath out, extended again. The settling deepens in a uniform way. Awareness feels thin and unlocalized. There is no center point, no edge to return to. A subtle rise occurs, barely distinguishable. It fades before registering. The drop that follows carries no contrast, only lessness. Thought does not resume. There is no need for continuity. Nothing waits to be finished. Breath continues faintly. Out, long, even. The parasympathetic state stabilizes fully. Internal monitoring is absent. No checking occurs. No confirmation appears. The body no longer signals preference. Stillness holds without effort. Nothing shifts it. Breath in, breath out, slower again. The descent remains uninterrupted. Identity softens further, not dissolving, just loosening its grip. There is no story attached, no label required. Experience continues without ownership. A final gentle rise appears. It carries no meaning. It settles immediately. The quiet that follows has no depth marker, no level to note, only continuation. Nothing reforms from this state. This level remains without variation. Breath remains. Out, extended, steady. The system rests at its lowest set point. Nothing pulls awareness back. Nothing forms again. There is no reason to surface. The next transition arrives without notice. There is no sense that anything has shifted. No recognition of depth. The state remains unmarked. Breath continues on its own. In, barely present. Out, long, even. The rhythm holds without variation. Awareness does not gather or drift. It remains diffuse, unlocated. Internal sensation arrives without contrast. Nothing stands out. Nothing recedes. The body holds itself without reference. Support does not need confirming. Stillness remains sufficient. Breath in, breath out, extended again. The nervous system stays settled. There is no signal of time passing. No sequence to follow. Moments do not stack. Thought does not resume. Not even fragments remain. Language stays inactive. Sensation blends into a single field. There are no borders. No distinctions to track. A faint rise moves through the system. It does not announce itself. It dissolves immediately. The drop that follows has no depth marker, only quiet. Breath continues. Out, slow, extended. Physiological signals remain low and stable. Awareness feels thinner, less involved, less necessary. There is no sense of self holding position. No role persists. Experience continues without ownership. Breath in, breath out, longer again. The settling sustains itself. Internal space feels open without structure. Nothing organizes within it. Nothing needs to. Another gentle rise appears, barely detectable. It resolves into deeper quiet. The cycle completes without notice. No contrast forms. No boundary remains. Breath continues faintly. Out, long, steady. The parasympathetic state holds fully. There is no monitoring of state. No checking for change. No expectation remains. The body rests without signal. Muscles remain slack. Nothing engages them. Breath in, breath out, extend it again. The system stays at rest. Identity continues to soften, not dissolving, just losing relevance. There is no attachment to form, no label to return to. Presence remains unclaimed. A final faint rise passes through. It carries no signal. It fades without trace. The quiet that follows does not deepen. It simply continues, uninterrupted. Nothing reactivates from this state. This level remains unchanged. Breath remains. Out, extended, even. The system stays settled. Nothing pulls awareness upward. Nothing reforms. Nothing needs resolution. The next phase unfolds without recognition. There is no sense of depth changing. Depth is no longer measured. The state remains unmarked. Breath continues without emphasis. In, minimal. Out, long, even. The rhythm sustains itself. Awareness does not gather information. It does not release it either. It remains faint and diffuse. Internal sensation arrives without contour. Nothing stands apart. Nothing recedes. The body holds stillness without reference. Support does not need confirming. No adjustment follows. Breath in, breath out, extend it again. Physiological quiet maintains itself. There is no sense of sequence. Moments do not stack. Nothing advances. Thought does not resume. Even absence is not noticed. Language remains inactive. Sensation blends into a single field. No borders remain relevant. Everything feels uniform. A faint rise moves through the system. It does not register as change. It fades immediately. The drop that follows has no marker, only continued quiet. Breath continues. Out, slow, extended. The nervous system remains settled. Awareness grows less involved, less necessary, less defined. There is no sense of holding a position. No role persists. Experience continues without ownership. Breath in, breath out, longer again. The settling sustains itself without effort. Internal space remains open and unstructured. Nothing organizes within it. Nothing needs to. Another gentle rise appears, barely distinguishable. It resolves into the same quiet. The cycle completes without contrast. No boundary forms. No shift is noted. Breath continues faintly. Out, long, steady. Parasympathetic balance remains stable. There is no monitoring of state. No checking for change. No expectation returns. The body rests without signal. Muscles remain slack. Nothing engages them. Breath in, breath out, extend it again. The system stays at rest. Identity remains softened, not dissolving, simply unneeded. There is no attachment to form, no label to retrieve. Presence remains unclaimed. A faint rise passes through. It carries no signal. It fades without trace. The quiet that follows does not deepen. It continues evenly, uninterrupted. Nothing shifts from this state. This level remains exactly as it is. Breath remains out, extended, even. The system maintains its lowest set point. Nothing pulls awareness upward. Nothing reforms. Nothing waits for resolution. The next transition arrives without recognition. There is no awareness of settling anymore. Settling has already completed. The system remains where it is. Breath continues without distinction. In, barely present. Out is less than #0. One hash is greater than long. Even. The rhythm sustains itself. Awareness does not orient. There is no direction to face. No reference point remains. Internal sensation arrives without separation. Everything blends. Nothing stands apart. The body holds no readiness. No tension waits beneath the surface. Support remains unquestioned. Breath in. Breath out. Extended again. Physiological quiet maintains itself. There is no sequence of moments. No before or after. Nothing advances. Thought does not appear. Even absence goes unnoticed. Language remains inactive. Sensation feels uniform. No edge calls attention. No contrast emerges. A faint rise moves through the system. It does not register as change. It fades immediately. The drop that follows has no depth marker. Only continued quiet. Breath continues. Out, slow, extended. The nervous system remains fully settled. Awareness feels unnecessary. It does not withdraw. It simply thins further. There is no sense of holding a self. No identity organizes experience. Nothing needs to. Breath in. Breath out. Longer again. The state remains unchanged. Internal space stays open without structure. Nothing organizes within it. Nothing interrupts it. Another gentle rise appears, barely distinguishable. It resolves into the same quiet. The cycle completes without contrast. No boundary forms. No shift is noted. Breath continues faintly. Out, long, steady. Parasympathetic balance remains stable. There is no monitoring of condition. No checking for sleep. No expectation remains. The body rests without signal. Muscles remain slack. Nothing engages them. Breath in, breath out, extended again. The system stays at rest. Identity remains softened, not dissolving, simply irrelevant. There is no attachment to experience. No label returns. Presence remains unclaimed. A final faint rise passes through. It carries no signal. It fades without trace. The quiet that follows does not deepen. It remains even, unbroken. Nothing resumes from this point. This state remains final and unchanged. Breath remains. Out, extended, even. The system holds its lowest set point. Nothing pulls awareness upward. Nothing reforms. Nothing waits to continue. The final phase arrives without awareness. There is no recognition of a final phase. Nothing signals completion. The system remains unchanged. Breath continues without emphasis. In, barely there. Out, long, even. The rhythm sustains itself quietly. Awareness does not orient. There is no direction to return to. No reference remains. Internal sensation arrives without boundary. Everything blends. Nothing separates. The body holds no readiness. No tension waits. Support remains unquestioned. Breath in, breath out, extend it again. Physiological quiet maintains itself. There is no sequence of moments. No before or after. Nothing advances. Thought does not appear. Even absence goes unnoticed. Language remains inactive. Sensation feels uniform. No edge calls attention. No contrast emerges. A faint rise moves through the system. It does not register as change. It fades immediately. The drop that follows has no marker, only continued quiet. Breath continues. Out, slow, extended. The nervous system remains fully settled. Awareness thins further, not withdrawing, simply unnecessary. There is no sense of holding a self. No identity organizes experience. Nothing needs to. Breath in, breath out, longer again. The state remains unchanged. Internal space stays open without structure. Nothing organizes within it. Nothing interrupts it. Another gentle rise appears, barely distinguishable. It resolves into the same quiet. The cycle completes without contrast. No boundary forms. No shift is noted. Breath continues faintly. Out, long, steady. Parasympathetic balance remains stable. There is no monitoring of condition. No checking for sleep. No expectation remains. The body rests without signal. Muscles remain slack. Nothing engages them. Breath in, breath out, extend it again. The system stays at rest. Identity remains softened, not dissolving, simply irrelevant. There is no attachment to experience. No label returns. Presence remains unclaimed. A final faint rise passes through. It carries no signal. It fades without trace. The quiet that follows does not deepen. It remains even, unbroken. Nothing concludes from here. This state continues without becoming an ending. Breath remains. Out, extended, even. The system holds its lowest set point. Nothing pulls awareness upward. Nothing reforms. Nothing waits to continue. There is no ending to notice, only continuation.